Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to completely change how you think about presentations. And I'm not talking about just a few little tweaks here and there. Nope, we're building a whole new framework, a way to make what you create truly memorable. And it's all based on 3 essential pillars. So, let's dive right in.
I mean, come on, we've all been there, right? You're sitting in a room just staring at the clock. You're lost in this endless sea of bullet points, and you're just praying for it to be over. That feeling of being trapped, it's universal. But what if you could make sure you are never the person giving that presentation?
Well, the secret to escaping that kind of mediocrity, it isn't some single magic trick. It's a framework. We're going to build our skills on 3 pillars that are all connected, and together, they can support any great presentation you can imagine, whether it's a classroom lecture or a super high-stakes business pitch.
Okay, so before we get to the solution, let's just take a second to really nail down the problem. Because understanding why so many presentations fail, that's the absolute first step toward making sure ours don't.
You know the symptoms, I'm sure. Slides that are just crammed with so much text you can't possibly read it all. A speaker who sounds, completely bored by their own topic. And 20 minutes in, you're still sitting there thinking, wait, what is the actual point of all this? Yeah, that's the problem we're here to solve.
So how do we fix it? We start with pillar number 1, your foundation. Now, the ideas here are drawn from Art of Presentation by Professor Dr. Viraj Vivenetkit, and they're all about just getting the fundamentals right from the get-go. This pillar, this is your bedrock. It's focused on those core communication skills. And that doesn't just mean public speaking. It's also about really mastering your tools, like PowerPoint or Keynote, and structuring your content in a way that just makes sense. For students, academics, professionals, pretty much everyone, this is the place you have to start. So what it all boils down to is this idea of effective communication. It's your ability to take all these ideas swirling in your head, organize them into a story that flows, and then deliver it with total clarity. Without this foundation, the other 2 pillars, they're just going to crumble. Now for our second pillar. Your visuals. This is where things get really interesting because we're bringing in the absolutely brilliant principles from Nancy Duarte's book, Slideology. We're shifting our focus now from what you say to what your audience sees. Okay, get this. According to Duarte, you have 3 seconds. That's it. 3. If your audience can't look at your slide and get the main idea in 3 seconds, it's too complicated. This one rule, this can literally change everything about how you build your presentations. And this really gets to the heart of her whole philosophy. When you put a ton of text on a slide while you're talking, you're actually forcing your audience to make a choice. Are they going to listen to you? Or are they going to read your slide? Either way, you lose their attention. Your visuals have to support your words, not compete with them. So here's what that difference looks like in the real world. On the left, you've got presentation chaos, that wall of text we all dread. But on the right, you have clarity. One single, powerful idea on each slide communicated visually. The goal is to make your slides glanceable, not something your audience has to sit and read. So, once we have a solid foundation and really clear visuals, we can move to our third and final pillar, the pitch. We're drawing again from Professor Dr. Viraj Vivenetkit's work, this time his book, Pitching Presentation. And this pillar is for when your presentation has one very specific job, to persuade someone.
See, a successful pitch isn't just a good presentation, it's a strategic one. And it really breaks down into 3 key steps. First, you have to really deeply understand who you're talking to. Second, you got to show them why they should trust you, why you're credible. And finally, you have to be crystal clear about what you actually want from them.
So let's be clear, this isn't for your casual weekly update. This is for the high-stakes moments. When you're trying to get funding for your startup, or get a green light for a huge project, or maybe win a big competition. This pillar is all about moving your audience to take action. Okay, so we've got our 3 pillars: the foundation of communication, the visuals of design, and the pitch of persuasion. So, how do we bring them all together? More importantly, how do you create a personal plan for yourself?
This table right here, this puts it all together for you. Think of it as your personal diagnostic tool. If you feel like you just need to build those core foundational skills, you start with Art of Presentation. If you want to create stunning visuals that people remember, you focus on Slideology. And if you need to convince an audience to back your idea, Pitching Presentation is your guide.
Each one gives you a totally unique advantage.
And that brings us to the big question for you. Thinking about those 3 pillars, communication, visuals, and persuasion, where's your biggest opportunity to grow? Do you need to get better at just structuring your ideas? Are your slides a total cluttered mess? Or maybe you need to get better at actually convincing people to act on your ideas.
All right, let's turn that thought into a real plan, a personal roadmap. It's this simple. If you need to improve your overall communication, start with art of presentation. If you know your slides are holding you back, dive straight into slideology. And if you've got a huge, high-stakes pitch coming up, you focus on the principles of pitching presentation.
So here's the takeaway. This isn't just some abstract theory. It's a practical tool you can use for your very next presentation. So think about it. It's probably right around the corner. Which one of these pillars are you going to build first to make sure that presentation is a massive success? That's your starting point.